People say, and I don't care what they say, it wasn't them, it was me. I know what happened and I know it was real. How would they like it if this happened to them and they would be being called a fake or whatever? I don't care what they think. I know what happened and I know it was real.
In the summer of 1977, a modest council house in the London suburb of Enfield became the epicenter of one of the most infamous paranormal cases in history. What started as mysterious knocking sounds quickly spiraled into a media sensation involving police, paranormal investigators, and even skeptics. This terrifying tale captivated the nation, later inspiring The Conjuring 2, several TV series, and a stage play starring Catherine Tate titled The Enfield Haunting. The chilling events began in a modest home in Enfield, London in 1977. Peggy Hodgson, a single mother of 4, was startled by loud noises coming from her daughter's bedroom. When she went to tell Margaret, 13, and Janet, 11, to stop roughhousing and go to sleep, she found them huddled in the corner, visibly terrified.
Racket started to occur in the back bedroom and some disturbance.
We told our mom the chest of drawers was moving toward the bedroom door, Janet recalled in a 2012 interview with ITV1. At first, Peggy dismissed it, saying, "Oh, don't be silly." But then, to her horror, she witnessed the drawers sliding toward the door as though an unseen force was trying to trap her daughters inside. When Peggy tried to push the dresser back, it wouldn't budge. Terrified, the Hodgson family fled to their neighbors, Vic and Peggy Nottingham, for help. Vic went into the house to investigate and reported hearing strange noises himself. When the Hodgsons called the police, one officer claimed to have seen a chair move across the room, but the authorities concluded there was nothing they could do. It wasn't a police matter. This was just the beginning of an 18-month ordeal that the family described as a haunting. "We didn't understand what was happening," Margaret said during the 2016 Conjuring 2 premiere in Los Angeles. "There were times we couldn't believe it. It was frightening. We didn't like being alone in the house." When the disturbances persisted, the Hodgsons turned to the Daily Mirror for help. Though the house remained quiet for hours during the reporter's visit, the activity suddenly erupted as he was about to leave. Janet later recounted to ITV1, "Furniture turned over, cups filled with water, fires ignited, voices levitation." During the height of the activity, Janet began to fall into trance-like states and spoke in a deep, gravelly voice, claiming to be a man named Bill Wilkins, who had died in the house years earlier.
Calling me Janet.
Isn't that your name?
Janet's asleep. And I'm talking.
What is your name?
My name is Bill Wilkins, and I'm 72 years old.
Where do you come from?
I come from the grave.
How did you die?
I went blind and had an hemorrhage, and I fell asleep and I died in the chair in the corner. I like to hear them scream.
Astonishingly, records later confirmed that a man by that name had indeed lived in the home and had died of a brain hemorrhage in the living room. Janet said the spirit would speak through her for hours at a time. As news of the case spread, more investigators arrived at the Hodgson home, including Maurice Gross and Guy Lyon Playfair from the Society for Psychical Research. On one occasion, a Lego brick was reportedly thrown across the room, striking a photographer and leaving a visible mark for days. Among the investigators were famed demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. Although the 2016 film The Conjuring 2 dramatized the extent of their involvement, the Warrens maintained that they were convinced something supernatural was at work in the home.
Ed and Lorraine come to the house, to me it felt like some sort of comfort had arrived for the first time. In the respect that they come to try and help us. And it didn't feel like that when anyone else visited. They just seemed to visit to see what was going on and to witness something that was happening. But Ed and Lorraine, you felt warm and comforted, but they were there to try and find out what it was and how they could help you.
While many paranormal enthusiasts believe these events are undeniable proof of supernatural activity, others remain skeptical. One of the most striking pieces of evidence often cited is a photograph captured by Graham Morris, a press photographer working for the Daily Mirror. Graham had set up a camera in the children's bedroom, connected to a cable that allowed him to snap pictures from the living room whenever he heard strange noises upstairs. One image shows Janet Hodgson, suspended in midair above her bed, wearing a nightgown, while her sister Margaret lies across the room, screaming. Paranormal believers say it's proof of levitation. But Douglas Bentz, who witnessed the case firsthand, isn't convinced. She wasn't levitating, you can tell from the picture. If you know anything about photography, the angle creates an illusion. You shoot from low down, and the world looks different. Doug believed the family needed genuine help, but he felt the media attention and the presence of paranormal investigators turned their suffering into a spectacle. Yet even Doug admits some events defied explanation. I wouldn't use the word supernatural, but something weird was definitely going on in that house, Doug said. I think Janet has got this sort of kinetic energy. She's really bright, he said. As I said, she can't talk to her dad. He's not here. Mom's too busy, her sister cries. One brother has a speech impediment so bad I doubt she can even understand what he says. And the other brother is at a special school, and she is desperate to get this, whatever it is, this energy, this power, whatever she has, across and out to communicate with people. And it's coming out in different ways in a sort of force, like a kinetic energy where things are shifting around. I don't know how it works or how it happens, but I knew at the time that the kids were not making these things happen intentionally. There might be some power or some force or some brainwave that's coming from one of them. Janet. The original video recordings of Janet speaking in the voice of Bill Wilkins left many deeply unsettled. The idea that an 11-year-old child, regardless of a desire for attention, could produce such a voice seems implausible. It was widely believed that the voice could not have originated from her.
Come on, say it for me, Dr. Bellow.
Dr. Bellow. Right, that's good. Shut up, that door. I'm 72 years old. I come from Jewel Rock graveyard. And I have right near the church where Rita lives. And all my friends come from there as well. And we all make a game and go to the pub. And then we pick your house. Because I used to live here. And I will tell you the law. And if you don't get anyone else, just set Mr. Hook and Mr. Playback.
I want you to tell me whether you remember what happened to you when you died. Just before you died and just after you died.
2 years before I died, I went blind. Then I had an hemorrhage and I fell asleep and I died in a chair in the corner downstairs.
The Hodgson family's ordeal remains one of the most infamous and heavily debated cases of paranormal activity, leaving a lasting legacy of intrigue and skepticism. What do you think about the Hodgson family's claims? Do you think Janet was really possessed? Let us know in the comments down below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.